Booker and CP3 were sensational. Shannon Sharpe on the Suns' Game 2 win over Bucks. UNDISPUTEDChris Broussard. Bucks can still make this a series. I have them taking Game 3. UNDISPUTEDNick Wright. Phoenix had a complete game. The Bucks were a one-man show. First things first, Bucks are not as good with Giannis as the centerpiece. Skip Bayless on Milwaukee's Game 2 loss to Suns. Undisputed Antoine Walker says it's not over for Milwaukee. Giannis is only getting better. First things first, Emmanuel Acho. Devin Booker winning a title will make him a bona fide superstar in the league. I speak for yourself, Emmanuel Acho. The best sports decision since LeBron went to South Beach. Was LeBron returning to Ohio? Speak for yourself, Shannon Sharpe. I would love for Andre Drummond to stay with the Lakers but won't lose sleep if he doesn't. UNDISPUTEDNick Wright and Chris Broussard rank the importance of the last 10 NBA titles. First things first, Nick Wright. Giannis is right. A title with the Bucks will matter massively. First things first, Chris Broussard won't write Bucks off if they go down 0-2. They've proven to be resilient. First things first, Shannon Sharpe. Giannis' legacy will not be harmed if Bucks lose to Suns in the finals. Undisputed Emmanuel Acho. Bucks have nothing to worry about after Game 1 loss. They'll adjust and retaliate. Speak for yourself, Colin Cowherd. Milwaukee let Chris Paul do whatever he wanted in Game 1. The Herd, Drummond or Kuzma. Shannon Sharpe on who's the better fit for the Lakers, Nick Wright. Bucks should feel confident despite Game 1 loss to Suns in finals. The Herda prominent agent who represents NBA coaches and executives has filed a civil lawsuit against Toronto Raptors coach Nick Nurse for breach of contract and seeks financial relief. Warren LeGarry, who represents several NBA head coaches, assistant coaches and front office executives, said in his claim, defendant Nurse failed to do certain things required by the representation contract. Among other things, defendant Nurse failed to abide by the terms of the representation contract, failed to pay plaintiffs the amounts due under the representation contract, and failed to disclose to plaintiffs the amount of the employment contract he entered into with the Toronto Raptors for the 2020-2021 through 2023-2024 NBA seasons, thus denying plaintiffs the opportunity to be paid for commissions owed on defendant Nurse's employment contract for the 2020-2021 through 2023-2024 NBA seasons. Nurse is now represented by Andy Miller, who joined Rich Paul's Clutch Sports Group as head of the agency's coaching division. Miller also represents new Portland coach Chauncey Billups. An attorney at Clutch Sports could not be reached for comment. In September, the Raptors announced they reached an agreement on contract extension with Nurse. The lawsuit claims Nurse's salary for 2020-21 was readjusted to the $6-8 million range and the four-year extension was worth $32 million, making him one of the league's highest-paid coaches. LeGarry seeks commission for the portion of the contract he says he negotiated. LeGarry's attorney, Hunter Pyle, said in a statement, Warren LeGarry has successfully represented numerous NBA head coaches and executives for more than 2 decades. He represented Nick Nurse for over 7 years and successfully negotiated several contracts for him pursuant to the same agent agreement that is the subject of this lawsuit. Mr. LeGarry employed his considerable experience and relationships in the NBA to help advance the career of Mr. Nurse as he progressed from an assistant to the head coach of the Toronto Raptors. The lawsuit speaks for itself as to the facts and law on the matter. I have nothing more to say about the case at this time. In the complaint filed in U.S. District Court, Northern District of California, LeGarry claims he and his business, LeGarry Management, Inc., entered into an oral contract to represent Nurse in contract negotiations with NBA teams in or around 2013. LeGarry's complaint says he offered to represent Nurse in exchange for a 3% commission on Nurse's head coaching contracts and 4% commissioner on assistant coach contracts. Nurse paid invoices on his contracts from 2015-16 through the 2018-19 season, according to the complaint, and shortly after the Raptors won the NBA championship, LeGarry began negotiating a 4-year extension and renegotiation of the 2020-21 season contract for Nurse with Toronto president Masai Ujiri and general manager Bobby Webster, according to the complaint. LeGarry also represents Webster. In the spring of 2020, LeGarry says after 9 months of work on contract negotiations, Defendant nurse breached his representation contract with plaintiffs and instructed plaintiffs to not proceed in any further negotiation discussions involving defendant nurse's employment with the Toronto Raptors.